So last week, we talked about the universal signs of life and by Angeles Aaron. And we looked at these 5 shapes and I had you number your shapes from 1 to 5, with your number 1 being your most preferred shape. So do this now if you haven't done it. And we talked about how these shapes appear all around the world in many different cultures and throughout a lot of time. And most cultures agree on the meaning of them, right? Okay. So now we're going to take some notes and we're going to connect them to our color theory and the emotions that go with the color. So let's write this down. The circle, next to the circle, write down, it indicates wholeness, contentment, and independence. So if we go to our journal for a minute and we think about what color, we flip back to our colors. What color could represent wholeness, contentment, or independence? And whichever color you pick, there's no wrong color. Everybody might have a different color. It's really, you might have a different color now than you will in 2 days from now. So what color indicates wholeness, contentment, independence? Whichever color you pick in your colored pencils, you can get them out and you're just going to swatch it right next to your note. So everybody make their own decision. What color you're going to put. There's no wrong answer. And so yesterday at 7:30 in the morning, I picked blue. But you can pick any color that you want. Okay, and I'm going to ask you to share that color with us. We're going to do this for all the other ones, and it does not matter what you choose, what color you put there. You could put blue or whatever color you chose on another one of these as well. Okay, so you can repeat colors. So let's do this again. Let's go back to our PowerPoint. So the plus is it's actually an equidistant cross, and it indicates like an intersection, conflict resolution, or connecting. So I'd like you to write that down and then pick a color that is associated with the plus sign. The next one is the triangle. It represents vision making and questioning in known directions. So I think of like mountains, pyramids, that kind of thing. Write this down. Okay, vision making and questioning in known directions. So like a vision quest. And that kind of thing. Now we're going to move on to the square. The square shows the process of stability, solidity, and foundation making. And I think of literally like a foundation of a building or building blocks, something being maybe rigid. So what color, after you write this down, what color did you associate with those ideas? The last one we're going to talk about is the spiral, and that indicates growth, evolution, and the need for a variety and changes. Once you write this down, you can choose a color, and you can choose a color you've chosen before. So we have now these symbols kind of defined. And I think it would be interesting to look at Kandinsky again. So you have done an Edpuzzle with him. And here is his one of his compositions. And you can see he uses a lot of these shapes. And the way he uses them with color, the way he repeats them, he even outlines them. Here's a circle with a red outline. Here's another red circle. Then these are like circles with the opposite color schemes. Kind of very interesting. It doesn't have a lot of organic shapes, a lot of geometrics, and a lot of lines. Okay, so we are going to do this in class. We're going to draw some compositions. We are going to use our color theory. We are going, so that was the color wheel. We're going to use the universal signs of life, what we just wrote. We're going to draw to some music, and we're going to only use lines, shapes, and colors. Okay, and you don't have to use the shapes that the universal signs. They're just a guide. It's up to you. So, okay, you don't have to use these. You can use other shapes as you wish. So I want to show you what I have done. I've done this quite a lot. These are two different songs. This one here is the same song as this one, just an hour apart. You can see I have organic shapes as well as some of these. I've also colored in some of the background. So these are each to a song. So some a minute, some 3 minutes. Okay, so we're going to do this. So go to the next blank page in your book. Get your colored pencils out. I would probably take out of the mix white, peach, black, and depending on whether or not you want to use brown, that's fine. And you're going to just, on the first page here, just draw a line across the middle. And here's number 1. And then here would be number 2. And we're going to listen to music. And this is just going to be the first one here. And for the first 5 to 10 seconds, I just want you to listen. And you might, as you're listening, flip back to this as a guide or this as a guide. And as you're listening, you can kind of go, okay, what feelings am I getting? Maybe you're getting happiness, so maybe you would choose yellow, or maybe you are getting growth, so you might make a green spiral. Okay, so these are like your keys or your guides. Okay, and then you're just going to start drawing. Okay, and you're going to just do it right up here. Try to draw big, right? Fill the space. So we're going to do the first one and see how it goes. Okay, so I'm going to share my music. Here we go. Okay, so that was the first song. And it's very different than probably a lot of things you've done in high school, right? It might look completely ridiculous. It might have been relaxing. It might have been frustrating. And that's okay. That's fine. It might be music you never listened to before. That was actually a didgeridoo, which is an Australian instrument. Okay. So we're going to move to the next one. We're not going to think about it too much. We're going to go to the right to the next one. Down here. Okay. Got your pencils ready. Listen for the first 15, 10 seconds. Look at this. Look at this. Make a choice. Start drawing. Okay, here we go. sharing my computer audio. Okay, so that was the next song. So we're gonna move to the next page. You can see how much I got done. And draw a line and put 3 and then 4. We're gonna do 3 next. It's a pretty short one, so I am going to play it twice. Here we go. Last one, I'm going to also play it twice down here at the bottom. Okay, so that's what I have for the 4 songs. Now, you're gonna have some asynchronous work to do tomorrow at home on these 4 pages. So make sure you have the numbers on them. And look for that asynchronous work. There'll be a video of what you're to do with these, but basically you're gonna listen again, okay?